Hey everybody, you're getting to be a habit with me, but we're back for the classic 1933 backstage musical 42nd Street, starring Warner Baxter, Bebe Daniels, George Brent, Ruby Keeler, and Guy Kibbee. Now, director Julian Marsh, as played by Warner Baxter, has plans to do one more big show which he needs to be successful so he can quit with a huge bank account because he was not be able to keep all of his money. But the big star Dorothy Brock, Bebe Daniels, secures a prominent role in the show through her sugar daddy, Abner Dillon, Guy Kibbee, backing the show. However, she is still in love with her former vaudeville partner, Pat Denning, George Brent, and they keep meeting in secret. Pat is fed up with their secret relationship and he leaves town to find work elsewhere. Now, as Julian drills everybody in his attempt to bring the show together, they end up taking the show to try it out in Philadelphia, where Pat is gone. Now, Pat has been spending a little bit of time with chorus girl Peggy Sawyer, Ruby Keeler, which makes Dorothy jealous. The night before the show opens, Dorothy gets drunk, tells off Abner, and as she tries to fight with Pat, she sprains her ankle. Julian is forced to consider postponing the show until it is suggested that Peggy could handle the lead. Julian works with her to bring her up to speed in the hopes that they might still be able to put together a great show. Now, 42nd Street is famous at least partly for reviving the film musical. At the time, the genre's popularity had sunk pretty low, due partly to audiences losing their taste for the plotless musicals that had dominated the genre after the advent of sound. But the choreographer Busby Berkeley was the major reason for the success of this film, considering that some of the previous film musicals had struggled with how they were filming dance. But he figured out how to get the camera to move as well, and he was in charge of quite a lot for his dance numbers as he helped design the various sets for them and a lot of stuff there. Of course, having the perfect cast for this movie that audiences could like it was definitely helpful. Now, this is one of those movies that's certainly fun to watch every now and then. I'll admit, for modern audiences who prefer the music to help advance the plot, this movie is a tough sell as almost none of the music does. The closest anything comes is the song It Must Be June. Now, the lyrics have nothing to do with telling the tale, but watching the rehearsal, one can't help but feel like it's something that has been done time and time again, which Julian Marsh accuses of being, considering that a lot of the cast seems to be kind of doing it half-heartedly, with Ginger Rogers and Una Merkel's characters carrying on a conversation like it was nothing. Other than that, the music just overall doesn't really advance the plot, but it's all still oh so fun. Obviously, the title tune is one of the best moments, starting off with Ruby Keeler dancing alone before being joined by the rest of the cast. The song Young and Healthy also gives us a good introduction to Busby Berkeley's use of the overhead shots and various kaleidoscopic images that he would be famous for. Shuffle Off the Buffalo is a fun tune, giving us Ruby Keeler paired up with the Clarence Nordstrom as a couple newly married on a train trip. Now, the concept would kind of be revisited later that year in another Busby Berkeley film, Footlight Parade, but Ruby Keeler would be paired with Dick Powell for that one. Personally, I prefer the song Shuffle Off the Buffalo as I enjoy the song itself more, and not to mention that it actually has some dancing to it. And Ginger Rogers helps make it a bit more appealing too. I know I can't help but marvel at this movie. The movie makes much of being the debut of Ruby Keeler, who will be one of the first big dance stars for the decade. And yet Ginger Rogers as Anytime Annie, who in this movie gives upper chance at stardom, believing Ruby's character to be able to handle the lead, would end up actually being the bigger dance star in the movies, starring later in the year when she would be famously paired with Fred Astaire in their first film together, Flying Down to Rio. Still, this is a fun movie and one I would very, very highly recommend. It's available on Blu-ray from Warner Archive Collection. I think that their restoration helps this movie soar, and the details are quite crisp, showing off Busby Berkeley's show-stopping numbers quite easily. And I'd certainly say that it's highly recommended either on its own or as a companion film to their recently released Blu-ray of the aforementioned Footlight Parade. But this movie is 1 hour and 29 minutes in length. Well, that's all I have on this one, everybody. Thanks for listening, and I hope you'll be back for more.